Good morning. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller. And today I'm going to put out at least 2 videos on my what solds. I'm going to do this one, which is going to be August 23rd through the 26th. So that was last week, Monday through Thursday. And then I'm going to do another one after it that's going to have Friday through Sunday. I just figured this way I can show you guys more of the types of things that I'm selling without making the videos too long. Sales have been pretty steady for me. I've been listing like crazy. I told myself this week that I was going to focus a lot on clothes because they seem to be piling up for me and I need to get them listed. We're at the point where we're just probably a little over 200 items listed and pretty much having at least one sale a day just in the clothing department. So I like that. So I need to get more stuff listed so that, you know, I can get more sales per day. And we're sourcing, right now it just seems like we're sourcing a lot of clothes. We went to a yard sale. Well, it was a community sale, but it was in one of our local campgrounds this weekend and bought so many clothes because at some places they were $1 a piece. I never see that at yard sales. Another place we went to, it was fill a bag for $1. And I mean, I found Victoria's Pink and Madewell and Levi's, and I just packed bags full. So I've got to get clothes listed. So I do have 2 hauls I need to get done. I'm not sure if I'll get them done today but soon. And of yard sales from last weekend, and then I also went to 2 consignment sales last weekend. One of them was excellent. The other one I bought a few things. Definitely wasn't worth the 1.5-hour drive. But, you know, next year it might be the best one ever. And then this weekend there aren't any consignment sales, but next weekend they start again, and there'll probably be at least one every weekend, probably for a month or so. All right, let's get to the first things. I'll start with this. Like I said before, I try to pick a variety of things that I'm selling just to show you when you're out and about and you find these types of things, it'll be worth it to pick them up. Also, another thing to note is I do not do free shipping. So when I'm telling you that this is what the item sold for, it does not include buyer paid shipping. All right, so this first item is vintage Fisher-Price Little People. This was the Ringmaster from the circus, and this is what I love, is the Little People. So I did sell him for $8.96. I picked up a whole bunch of littles at a yard sale, and this was all mixed in. And I usually list these separate because with the Little People stuff, there's collectors out there and they're looking for specific pieces to specific sets. This is a Christmas puzzle that we put together. My husband and I love to do puzzles. Sometimes we'll go for a while where we just kind of work on them as we can, and then there's other times we really dedicate a substantial amount of time to doing puzzles. But we did this one, put it together, and then I usually take a picture of it together, and I did sell this for $9.86. I picked up a lot of dollhouse a couple of weeks ago. It was the dollhouse and a whole bunch of accessories, and I try to break them up into small lots based on rooms or stuff like that. But these were quite unique. These were 2 little pieces that are unique enough that I kept them together, but I didn't put them with the other baby stuff. This is the play gym and a rocking seat, and I did take a best offer of $14 on it. I paid $25 for the house and all the accessories, and I've already made all my money back. My husband picked this up at a recent estate sale. He pictured this, this was in one of our hauls recently, And we did pay $7.50 for it, and I sold it for the $35.95. This is Build-A-Bear Disney bear. I've said this before, a lot of them I sell for about $10 plus shipping, and this was one of them. I ended up selling it for the $10.75, but you can usually pick these up for 50 cents or $1 at yard sales, so it's still worth it to me. I showed this recently. This is one of the older Puppy Surprise plush sets. This was from 1991. Now, I think Just Play or one of them is putting out more current versions of this, but they don't sell for as well. A lot of times I end up selling the puppies separately in those sets because kids lose one. There's usually 3 to 4 in the set. I was lucky enough to pick this one up, and it did have the original 4 puppies with it. So I kind of listed it high, and it sold almost immediately for $44.95. This was kind of a surprise. It was in, I think, a lot my husband brought home from his trip, but it was Nerds, and it was from 2011, and I did end up selling it for best offer of $15. But he would have only paid like 50 cents or $1 for it. This is Super Y. Now, if you ever find the little figures that go to this series, and I'll try to put a couple of comps to show you what they look like. They sell for big bucks. Like, if you can get like the 4 figures in the vehicles, it's for, I think, over $100, or it was the last time I looked. But this was just a card set with the Super Y from the characters on them. And it was listed a while because I went kind of high with it, but I ended up selling it for best offer. No, not even best offer. It was the $22.45. But all things Super Y do well. This I picked up, I think I showed it in one of my recent hauls. I only paid a couple of dollars for it, but I ended up selling it for the $22.45. This was a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fanny pack from 1994. This is just an example of a Russ plush that I sold. It was just a little purple duck, and I did end up selling it for the $8.96. So Russ is one of those, it doesn't sell for a lot unless it's very specific sought after items, but they do still sell. So if I'm going to pay 50 cents or something for it, I'm happy with $8. I've told this story before. My husband and I, it's one of those moments, you know, where hindsight is 20/20. We went to an estate sale, and I believe the person had been some kind of radio station executive, and his whole garage was just records. And I hadn't really gotten into records yet, but we went ahead and we was going through some of them and scanning them, and I want to say I bought 20 or so records just based on scans that seemed to do well. When we got home, almost all of them are what they call white label, and I had never heard of white label before, but supposedly it's things that were gifted to either executives or people who work for a radio station or something. Well, this was one of those white label ones. And I mean, I've sold others for way over $100 of these albums. I think we paid $2 or $3 each, which to me was like a lot for records that I had no clue about. And then I worried about the shipping and everything on them. But I'm down to just the last few, and I did sell this record. It's called Sanders. I have my little cheat sheet right here. Sanders Truck Stop by Ed Sanders. I want to say maybe it was some kind of storytelling record, but nevertheless, I did end up selling it for best offer of $28.34. This is a Barney plush. He was 24 inches long. A lot of times with these Barney plush, the mouth is some kind of coating, and a lot of times they're cracked. But I always just disclose and take a good picture of it, and I did end up selling Barney for $22.45. Barney's still very popular. So if you see him, at least do the comps, but I almost always will pick it up. I think I featured this recently. It's a 101 Dalmatian plush, but it was a purse. Has the little handles on the back and a zip-up pouch on its back. And I sold it pretty quickly for the $22.45. I picked this up at an antique store here in our local town. I had never been there before, and we stopped and bought quite a bit of brass and a few vintage toys. I want to say I paid $2 or $3 for it. It could have been up to $5. I can't quite remember. But this is from 1971. The whole series is called Tough Stuff by Mattel. I had so many messages where people just wanted to buy the numbers. Now, there were these block sets that came out in the ABCs and the numbers, and whenever I have found them, I have picked them up, and they sell quite quickly. But these numbers actually went with this truck, so I did not want to separate. I wanted to keep them together, and I finally did sell it for $22.45. I've showed these recently in a haul. I always pick these up. These are called Little Tikes Tots. They came with lots of the different wee waffle block sets and vehicles and, you know, all kinds of things. But I did pick these up. I think they were mixed in with a bunch of other things, but from a consignment sale. But I bought the bag specifically because I wanted these three. And I went ahead and listed them together, and they did sell for the $17.95. This is Goffa brand. It's just a puppy dog, kind of in the Rottweiler colors, and I just seem to always do quite well with dogs like that. They don't sell for a lot, that brand, but I always still pick it up because I think it's a decent quality plush, and I did end up selling him for the $11.66. These were some very unique women's shoes. I went to a yard sale. I was on my way home and just happened upon it. And she had a whole tarp full of, to me, they look like higher end shoes. There were a lot of Dansko and things like that for $4 a pair. So I think I ended up buying probably 10 to 15 pairs of her shoes. And I've been going slowly, but surely they have all been selling. And I did take a best offer on these for $35. But they are spring step L'artiste. If they had been in my size, I might have held on to them, but they aren't. Like I said, we've been selling clothes. This is a Panama Jack shirt. I'm pretty sure this is one of the ones I picked up at a churchyard sale. I paid $1 for it, and I ended up selling it for best offer of $16. This is just an example. I don't sell it for a whole lot, but I tend to find a whole lot of Snoopy plush that are either the kind that went with candy, you know, they're like 5 or 6 inches tall, or these ones from MetLife. Now this one was still sealed in its bag, but I did sell it for $7.15, and I usually get a lot of these, you know, for $1 or so, or at the bins, pay by the pound. These, I picked up a whole box of crafting supplies, and I just picked the kits out and got them listed, but I think I still have knitting needles, and I think somebody was doing jewelry making or whatever, and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with them, but I listed these, and I'm pretty sure I sold them within a couple of hours of listing them. These were just 2 counted cross-stitch kits. One featured a tiger, and the other one was just a winter scene. And I took best offers of $41 total for them. So I'm already way in the clear, and there were several other kits that I listed. This is a Gooned Elephant Lovey. I picked this up, I want to say, at one of the consignment sales I went to. Probably paid a couple of dollars, $2 or $3 for it, and I ended up selling it very quickly for the $22.45. This is one of my fails, but I wanted to show you because it happens. I went to a thrift store in a local town and saw this, and they wanted $25 for it. It was a little musical snow globe of Wizard of Oz. It sells for quite well, except I didn't even realize it was missing one of the globes that sits on top. And when I did the music, it played, and I didn't think nothing else of it, but it was stripped. It wasn't going to play anymore. And so when I got home, I was just so disheartened because I had paid $25 for this. But I went ahead and listed it. And if you see on there, I've got please read, it's missing globe, it's not working. I put in all of those informations all over the listing, and it's taken a little while, but I ended up taking a best offer of $35. So with shipping not included in that, I probably made a little bit of a profit. But you know, somebody may have a special project that they plan on doing for that, or they've broken theirs and they want to use this one for parts. I'm not quite sure, but you know, just because it's broken doesn't mean you shouldn't list it or throw it away, especially when you've got money invested in it. So there's my fail story. This was kind of a surprise. I picked up quite a few Build-A-Bears. Like I said, I don't ever really look them up. I just go ahead and buy them, and especially the more unique, definitely. I paid probably a couple of dollars for these at a yard sale, and when I did my research, I was quite surprised that this Scarantula spider is highly popular, but I ended up taking a best offer on him of $57. I featured these in one of my recent hauls. This was from my online auction that I went to and purchased a bunch of stuff on. I've already sold several of the buckets, and this is just another one of the buckets, and I did take a best offer of $12 on it. So a lot of these old McDonald's Happy Meal buckets are worth picking up, and I see them all the time and didn't even realize it till now. And since then, I have bought, I think, 2 more just at yard sales that weren't part of this. This is a Bumblebee Transformer costume for Build-A-Bears. I bought a bear and 2 of these costumes for $5 at a yard sale, and I ended up selling this for best offer of $15. Let me go get my lights. Our lights turn off after 20 minutes down here, and one day I thought, well, I'll just turn them on, take off the timer, and then I left them on all night, so I'll just get up and walk. All right, here's another clothing item that I did sell. This is Tommy Bahama. This is a silk, kind of aloha type shirt, and I did end up selling it with best offer of $19. So a lot of these clothes, we're only spending $1 and $2 on them or less. Once in a while, a little more. I showed one of these in probably maybe last week's what sold. I picked 2 of these blankets up at a consignment sale, paid a couple dollars for them, and I have sold both of them for the $35.95. So this is Gymboree. Not all Gymboree sells like this, but do check when you see them. I have started making a concerted effort to look at baby blankets when I'm at yard sales, because they tend to do really, really well. This was from that online estate sale also. I actually ended up finding a 3rd of these koala bears by Pampers that was gray, and before I could add it to this lot, it went ahead and these 2 sold. I did sell them for the $17.95. This is an FAO dog plush from Toys R Us. He's been listed a little while. I think I even wrote on there he's got a ring around his neck where maybe a bow is missing. So I always put that type of information. If I notice anything that seems off, I'll just list it in there, and it doesn't really affect whether it's going to be sold, because somebody's probably wanting to replace this for their child. but I ended up selling it also for $17.95. I picked these bottles up at the consignment sale that I went to a couple weeks ago. These are by Life Factory. They are glass baby bottles, and I paid $10 for the 3 of them and listed them and took a best offer of $22. Just to comment again that when I sell these type bottles, I never sell the nipples with them. I just expect that the buyer needs to just go buy brand new nipples, because you just don't know if there's any flaw in that bottle nipple. This, I have sold a bunch of homeschool curriculum. This was actually ours. It's gone through 3 kids. So it did have some scratches and stuff to the DVDs because I have boys. But nevertheless, I did end up selling this Matthew C. Pre-Algebra book series. I've got the book and the test booklet and the DVD that gives you instructions for the $31.45. This is a plush by Best Made Toys. I think it's a very good quality product, so I pick them up all the time. But llamas, no, this ain't even a llama. This is, I thought that was a llama. I think I sold a different one. This is the lamb, and I ended up selling it for best offer of $21. Just lambs. The more I look at that, though, it looks like a llama. Oh well, it sold. All right, these next 3 are Facebook's orders, and then I actually have been selling quite a bit on Bonanza. So this first item was a Lilo and Stitch little figure, 1-inch plastic figure, and I ended up selling it on Facebook for $9. This is more brass. I haven't been listening. I still have quite a bit, but I've just kind of been pulled in all different directions on toys and clothes, and so the brass is just kind of sat. But this, I did sell these 2 candle holders for $16. This is a Organic Farm Buddies pig plush. It's been listed a little while, and I listed it on Facebook, and it sold pretty quickly for the $8. And then these last 3 are Bonanza orders. Bonanza's so easy. I've mentioned this before. You just connect your eBay account to Bonanza, and it pretty much keeps it current. Every once in a while you need to watch because it'll lose your, I don't even know the word, the key or something, and it'll disconnect, and all of a sudden things that have sold on eBay are still on there, but you just got to watch your account. But the good thing about Bonanza is when it's all working properly, which I'm telling you, that's only happened to me once, that it disconnected. And it was probably because it had been a year and I needed to renew the certificate or whatever. But when it sells on eBay, on Bonanza, it puts the item in unsolds on eBay. And then all you need to do is make sure you're watching so that if you have it cross-listed to Facebook or Mercari or whatever, that you end it on them also. But I ended up selling this Build-A-Bear outfit on Bonanza for $8.95. And then this is a Babies R Us monkey plush, and I did sell it for $22.45. And then this, I don't know why it's showing that picture there. This is a tie beanie. I think I just recently listed this on eBay, but it's Goldwyn, and I sold it on Bonanza for $14.95. So it's been a good month for me. I think it was, let's say August was better than July. I'm of the mind that September is going to be even better, and then when we hit into October, it's going to become much better with fourth quarter and Christmas shopping and all of that stuff. So I hope those of you who are watching, we're heading into the long weekend. Hope you have a great weekend with friends and family. I'm actually heading to a yard sale or a estate sale this evening. We have one that starts on Wednesday here, so I'll be there. And then I'm hoping to get out with at least one of the sisters to do some yard selling this weekend. I hope it's quite busy. But thanks again. Please like and subscribe. Send in your comments. I promise I'm going to get a cleaning video out, but I think I already did one on just best practices as far as shipping, and I think we might try to get that out today, which you won't see this till after that. But we've got lots of videos that are in the queue and need to be done, and it's just always busy here. All right, thanks for watching.